I don't have the money slide.
Oh,
But
tell us.
Any check size, like just show me the check, I just say okay. I am truly a unicorn, like single person, vibe coding, bred by the Silicon Valley. I do product. I'm a public policy guy. I can do constitutional research. I can do like coding and every single thing, marketing, everything. I'm a single person who can do everything. Jack of all trades, and a real smart person too. Yeah.
Thank you. That's very good. Okay. Do you have questions? Stratos is the AI guy.
But this is not AI related.
Exactly. No.
Your unit economics don't really make sense. So you showed a 70% margin at $9.99 subscription fee, where you pay 1 cent per page view.
Yeah.
What is your customer acquisition cost? Is it baked in?
So it's not baked in. Customer acquisition cost. So I think the way again, like right now I have an MVP. The go-to-market strategy is that partner with universities and schools. Number one. The second piece is that really there's a huge local news ecosystem that is untapped. Local news is really struggling, and tap that ecosystem and market to build it up. Yeah.
Okay, we'll have time for 2 questions.
Is it ready to go?
I have the MVP built. Stratos is not happy with it, but I'm waiting for news partnerships to happen. Yeah. So from a technical standpoint, it's implemented. I'm looking for the news partnerships. Yeah.
By the way, I just said what you said.
Oh.
It's not ready to go.
Oh, yeah.
I read.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, you have one last question for me?
Yeah.
And that will be time.
So I'm curious about who would subscribe for it, right? Probably the people who want to read the news
Yeah.
and who want to read a lot of news.
Yeah.
Meaning that at 80 news, or how much? Is 1 cent per view?
Yeah, currently New York Times and other publishers earn 2 to 3 cents per view from a paid subscriber, including ad revenue. If you look at the subscribing revenue itself, it's like 1 to 1.5. Obviously, it may change, just like YouTube, for example, pays different people, but yeah.
Meaning that $8 a month would let me read 800.
Yeah, again, it is a sample price that I've taken, but about $10 a month. And if you're reading 300 articles in a given month, it is still $3 to $4 or 30 to 40% of margin.
It's fair. And how much would be customer acquisition cost you, and how do you expect to acquire customers?
To be honest, I haven't factored in customer acquisition costs. This is my first time, so sorry. Yeah.
Okay, for
Yeah.
the rest.
But I'm here to learn from all of you guys. So yeah.
Yeah, we can talk. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Can I have a clicker? Everyone forgets to give me the clicker. All right, and our next startup is Illumina with Project Starlight. Tyler?
Oh, thank you.
Can I have a round of applause? Thank you.
Okay, so in a past life, I built a hardware company. We built
Can you call the
Hardware doesn't work.
we built a high density infrastructure product, and we had committed initially to building inside of the U.S. and EU. When we actually set out to do it, turns out nobody really manufactures in these areas, especially not kind of small scale manufacturing. Most of the time, you're dealing with manufacturing consultants that then back end out into Asia. So with that, I committed to never building another hardware startup again, unless something like Illumina existed. So basically, what we're looking at is how to create and validate manufacturing in the physical world. So how do you translate from bits to atoms in a predictable, reliable way? So a little bit about me and our team. So our team is pretty established. In our current company, we built out Evolve AI, which is an AI company that effectively automated the design thinking process as it relates to digital experiences. So being able to understand visually the composition of a page, being able to understand a workflow, identify problems and opportunities, and create better outcomes for end users through ideation, code generation, QA, etc. And so, with our backgrounds in AI, with our backgrounds in hardware, we set out to apply some similar ideas to this new project that we call Project Starlight. So if you'll just take a second and think about slicing a tomato, right? So if you just kind of picture slicing a tomato, imagine slicing the slices a little thinner, slicing them a little thinner. You're effectively simulating the process of slicing tomatoes in your head, right? So you've got an image of the tomato, you're slicing, you're picturing the knife, you're picturing the cutting board. With LLMs and similar, multimodal models, there's not that aspect of the thought, right? And especially not the dream, where dreams are really a mechanism to help us not overfit to the reality we observe. And so what we're doing with Illumina is effectively simulating how to create something in the real world, all the way down to the whole manufacturing process, material handling, etc. And then using that to train models that get smarter over time. Our goal is effectively to integrate with standard design tools where today you can already create 3D models and PCB designs, etc. That you can then send out for design for manufacturing review, or basically heuristic-based review followed by simulation of the full fabrication. And then the goal is really to create a system that, as multimodal models are able to get further into 3D model generation, because like right now it sucks.
30 seconds.
Basically, you're able to feed it through an MCP into a system that's able to translate again your bits into atoms. We've built an initial integration into Fusion 360 that allows you to go through the whole process of simulation of manufacturing. We've also built a sample MCP of being able to generate models and validate them through the system. Our initial market is effectively going after the rare parts market, so being able to manufacture just-in-time rare parts that are hard to find. It gives us access to a lot of models that we can use to do our initial training and then expand over time.
That's time. Can you scroll through the ask?
So we're looking for $5 million for our initial seed round. We have a commitment already from Horizons Ventures, which is a large VC. They backed companies like Facebook, Zoom, Airbnb, etc. They also backed Revolve AI. So we have a commitment for about $2 million, and we're looking for other financial partners to help build this out.
Awesome. Okay.
Congrats with commitment from Horizon. And I understood on the last piece, which
Sorry,
I think
I
it was
got too
highlighted
technical.
that you can print any detail pretty much, or like whenever you need it, right?
So it's
Make it
important,
clear that that's like.
yeah, it's important to note that this isn't just additive manufacturing, because additive manufacturing is incredibly limited. You can use it to produce, rough molds and soft molds, etc. But additive manufacturing at scale doesn't produce very good quality products. It's a component of it, but it's we start with CNC cutting, milling, etc.
What's going to be the first use case? So you are going to produce those.
Yeah. So effectively, rare and hard to find auto and aircraft parts. So basically, where today, I have to keep this like 2 sentences, right?
Yeah, ideal.
I'm about to go on a rant. So so basically, the initial use case is rare and hard to find parts, where we're able to just-in-time manufacture them, package them, and ship them, drop ship them to the buyer. So part suppliers of any type can give us their models. We can load them up and then allow them to just-in-time manufacture them. And then we do inventory prediction and floor planning to be able to do it efficiently.
So what you're saying is that it's cheaper to produce on demand a certain, say, number of Toyota doors rather than to produce them en masse and store. Like storage is more expensive than just-in-time production.
Yeah, so this is basically, we're looking at rare or hard to find parts. So if you have, like, a good example would be like an aluminum door hinge for a 911 GT3, right? It's very difficult to find that part. And so by simply loading up the models, we can fabricate it and ship it to the buyer, and you don't have to worry about inventory. So anything that we can get models for, then you can have an infinite supply of it that's manufactured on demand. It won't be as cheap as manufacturing 1,000 of them, but it'll be, these are very high margin parts because they're hard to find, they're rare, and so people are ready to pay significantly more money for them. So it's a good initial market. This is just our wedge, and then we go to a larger scale.
Thank you.
We have time for one question from Julie.
Very interesting. I'm very much familiar with this problem of AI generation, 3D printable or manufacturable objects. I'm very curious, what results do you have now at Fusion 360? What benefit can you bring now to them?
Yeah, so basically, the way that it works right now is you're able to push a model to the system, and then it will do a heuristic-based evaluation, both inspecting the model as well as visually. And then from there, it then simulates the manufacturing or fabrication of it. So it's simulating from basically loading the billet through CNC, grabbing the final finished product, and packaging it. So that's basically a digital twin for a defined cell, where cells are actual physical manufacturing environments. And so you can just replicate the cells, and the DFM is transferable. So you might have a cell in California that you're validating your design in, and then you might have a cell in, say, Poland, where you can then, deliver that same product, correcting for tolerances and wear on tools.
Just want to specify, yeah, that's regarding your team, you mentioned the expertise in design thinking, which is vague and not related to the topic. And you mentioned AI. Do you have expertise in advanced manufacturing, and how do you want to complete your team with that expertise?
So part of this race is to complete our team. So I've done manufacturing, sort of manufacturing in Asia for my past companies, but that is somebody that we'll be bringing in as first a consultant, and then as we start to build it out.
Thank you. Good job. All right, our next startup is AZ Care. All right, can we get a round of applause?
Is the video working? Did you get the video? We'll see, maybe it will work in this one. Hi, my name is Samar. Sounds like summer, the nice weather. I am an AI or audio AI engineering director at Cisco and a serial entrepreneur. Today I'm here to talk about AZ Care. Okay, well, what's AZ Care? AZ Care, we are building an enterprise-grade, outbound calling agent to make phone calls and workflows on your behalf. You, the user, not the organization. Now, what does that? Now, what? Okay. Well, the problem we are trying to solve is very simple. Americans spend around 900 million hours on hold every year. And a big chunk of that is in healthcare. So how to solve it? So we built an enterprise-grade, HIPAA-compliant AI calling agent that can make workflows and phone calls on behalf of the patients or the users. What will it do? It will make things such as finding a doctor for you, calling the doctor office to make an appointment, dispute your medical bill, or aggregate your medical record, and in our HIPAA compliant secure vault. Who are we? Going to be an older slide, but I'll use it as well. Our management team comes from Babel Labs. Babel Labs was a startup we founded in 2017. In Babel Labs, we built the industry most widely used noise removal technology. It was acquired by Cisco in 2020, and it was funded by a great list of investors who were very happy with a 10x ROI in less than 3 years. Our team is relatively very senior in terms of academic accomplishments, and at the same time, relatively young in age. We have more than 3 PhDs in the team, more than 9 masters, and many BS degrees. Well, what's the moat? Well, we have a short-term and long-term moat. The short-term, while a lot of people in the Bay Area and around the world are trying to build with AI technology, and a lot of good work been done. But very few can claim that they have many decades of experience in bringing to market at scale AI products that work for enterprise-grade quality. Yes, anybody can get a GitHub repo or call an API and build a product, but to make it work and solve catastrophic failures, that's what would make the difference between an enterprise-grade and an internship project. That's in the beginning. But, well, over time, being smart is not enough. Well, as I mentioned, in our product there is a vault, a secure vault. And in that vault we'll be aggregating the customer data. And this buildup of secure, private data will be a great competitive advantage that will be hard to surmount. Right? I think this is the wrong slide set. Next one? Next. Okay. Can you play this? This is an example of it. Well, we'll send it to you directly. This is just a video showing AZ calling a doctor office and going through the calling tree, pushing buttons, and it doesn't work. And next time it recognized I need to call the agent, and it did what we all do, scream agent, agent, and it worked. The market size, a lot of money. The problem is big, a lot of hours are spent on the whole problem, so it is expected there is a lot of money, but how to make that money?
30 seconds.
I'll just jump to the song. If we assume that we are going to, the one segment we are focusing on is the employee benefit. We believe we are going to sell this product as an employee benefit alongside with other employee benefit to large companies, mainly to highly paid employees. So if we focus only on the people who are making 100K and above, that will give us, at a $20 a month, which is at the bottom end of the pricing for employee benefit, we'll end up with something around $10 billion market. If we achieve 1% penetration of this market, and I don't know why it would be only 1%, but let's assume, that would be around 100 million.
Wonderful. Okay, thank you. Can you scroll to the ask? Do you have an ask?
I don't have an ask slide.
Oh,
but
tell
I
us what
can-
you're
We are looking for an investment around $6 million to expand the team and build a marketing operation.
Have you raised money before, and have you gotten commitment for this round?
I have not yet.
Okay.
So one of the key value propositions you were saying is that it's HIPAA compliant and such. Are you planning to use like a cascade system for your voice AI? Because then you would need to bring like a larger reasoning LLM from OpenAI or somebody like that.
Yes, and as a guy who works on Meta AI, I am sure you know that this is the only way to do it with guardrails.
I think it's an interesting idea, and I can see where the problem is. What I'm skeptical about is how effective this thing is actually going to be when you're transacting with an admin on the other side. Not so much getting through to an admin or solving the problem of waiting on the phone, but actually transacting and getting the agent to accomplish its goal. Have you done any tests? How do you know this is going to work?
This is a great question and was a concern for us. We actually did a market research where we have hired a person to make phone calls. But that's before we have our prototype. So we have a prototype, pretty functional prototype that we can show in a demo in one call. But other than that, we did a market research to understand what would it take for an admin to accept that call. And we found with small tweak, we changed the percentage from being 10% to 90% acceptance rate of the call. Admins don't like to talk to AI unless if they find that there is a value to them very early in the call. So by tweaking the mechanism of the call, we found that we could increase the rate of acceptance by admin from 10% to 90%. Now there are still some workflows issues, like how do we deal with referrals? There are still things that we need to figure out how to make the workflow, the full workflow. It's not just the call, it's the thing that need to happen before and after the call. So, pretty valid question.
I've got a question a little bit out of the box. What question would you like your potential investors to ask you more, but they're not?
That's a good question. I think, well, you kind of put it on my advantage, like that. Well, what would make you special? There's a lot of people who have calling agents. What's special about your calling agent compared to this other 90 other calling agents? As I mentioned in the beginning, I'm the audio AI engineer at Cisco. And I kind of know what people are building in this inbound industry. Most of the industry is inbound. Everybody want to replace the receptionist or the call center guy. That's what they want to replace. And in there, the barrier to surmount is the call tree. Very low barrier. When you want to make a phone call to someone, as the question came here, that's a little different psychology. That agent needs to behave differently. I'm not saying that be like a human. That is not important actually. But it needs to give me a confidence very early that this is going to be a beneficial conversation, or I'm easy to hang up. But when I'm calling to return my toaster to Amazon, I got to return the toaster. I'm going to stick it on the phone and deal with whatever you guys provide.
Okay. That's about time. All right. Right. Let me invite our next startup, which is I'm going to tell you my country, second first.
My name is Young Yu. I'm the CEO of Solis in Ohio. We built the eyes of the robot, which is more scalable, which enables the robot to be able to see, perceive, and execute.
I think you need to hold the microphone.
So, talent shortage and the increasing regulations. We recently saw LG and Hyundai sites being rated, but the conversation is not shifting towards where's the skill gap, how we solve this problem, while trying to onboard onshoring of those manufacturing facilities. Right now, the eyes of the robots that are available in the market are expensive and susceptible to heat transfer because it uses conventional methodology, overcoming the physical challenges, not necessarily GPU. They have shifted adapting the GPU capabilities, but still they're very expensive. $10,000 all the way up to $100,000 per unit. And because it has heat issue, they're typically massive in order to dissipate the heat fast enough. So therefore, we have introduced on-device processing capabilities that does real-time capture and detection. We have built this on Android app and made it compatible with Intel RealSense and Jet cameras. Therefore, the pricing point, we don't manufacture 3D cameras. We process the data on cell phones, which has already the GPU and the processing capabilities, which is more compact, and made it compatible with cameras like Intel RealSense. We've been venture-backed for the past. The first time we raised was 3 years ago, and that was the last time we raised. Since then, we did last year $1.5 million in revenue, and we have a presence in Ontario, Seoul, New Delhi, and Ho Chi Minh. Our headquarters is based in Delaware. So we have entities and our clients. We have direct engagement with the first primary OEM manufacturers to Apple, based out of India, and also we work with Samsung, Hyundai Heavy Industries. And we supply the 3D vision system to their automation, and robotics. Our key members are from France and India. Damien is specialized in the AI part of it because we use LLM for analysis of the detection. And Saurabh focuses on developing the mobile app for on-device processing. We sat down with the Hyundai Heavy Industries, as you can see. Normally when it comes to shipbuilding, now shipbuilding is becoming a center of the focus when it comes to ensuring of the manufacturing. They build the modules, multiple modules, and within that process, it requires welding of the gaps. We sat down with the Hyundai Heavy Industries, and they originally they brought in the collaborator robots, of which price was $5,000 and below. However, the 3D cameras that they looked into had a pricing point above $20,000. So the cameras were more expensive, and they reached out to us and they sat down with us 2 years ago. Because we started our venture focusing on 3D vision. We sat down with them and started developing the 3D camera, and then we packaged it into Android device and made it compatible with Intel RealSense.
30 seconds? Yeah.
With the same approach, we also work with LG Electronics, which led to Samsung Electronics, and Aquas, which is the primary manufacturer to Apple. Now what we do requires a strategic position because we are a solution provider to part of the end-to-end solution. So we look at the volume of the clients. For example, Samsung $18 million estimated revenue instead of the volume of number of clients. So for each of the clients, we look at how much revenue we can target and try to work closely with them.
That's about time. Can you go to your ask?
Yes. So we are seeking $1 million at a pre-valuation of 15. And with the money, we would like to focus on the POCs with the existing clients in North America and expand, enhance our brand by working closely with the clients and making it successful.
Thank you. question about the first revenue. You said that's 1.5 million ARR. Is it recurring revenue, or you also mentioned pilots from the same companies?
Yes. So over the past, yes, this is. I mean, our client. This I cannot say it's a recurring revenue because they are contract based, and we've been only in the industry for the past 5 years, but then ventured back to 3 years. So we pivoted going into third year. And when it comes to the supply chain, the 3 years, 2-3 years, we are moving forward with the contracts, and we got into the second contracts, and then the second contracts is about 3 units for production. So after that, then you'll be targeting 10 units. But there's no correlation between second unit and third unit other than the third contracts, other than the relationship.
I very much liked your model of 80 million per customer, right? So can you give...
Okay, so we went to Samsung's facility in Texas. Their smallest facility is based in Irving, Texas. And what they have is they have 50 members sitting down just testing each of the refurbished cell phones. And they want to automate that process. And that facility alone has 3 lines just like that. We estimated $6 million from that plant alone. And that is the smallest plant out of the 3 that they have in Texas.
Okay, we have time for one more question. Go ahead, Stratus.
Thank you. One of the companies I acquired last year, and I'm currently operating out of Canada, does a 3-dimensional reconstruction of anything using commodity cameras. And the main reason is 3-dimensional cameras are very expensive. What is your dependency to 3D cameras? Why don't you do that with commodity cameras?
Sorry?
Why don't you do that with a commodity camera?
We use Intel RealSense instead of building it from scratch. And Intel RealSense's pricing point is from $250 to $750. We actually tried to build the 3D camera from scratch at a hardware level, but then we didn't find the economy out of it. So we quickly shifted to supplying the third-party camera.
The question was, do you require a 3D camera for your system to work?
Yes, because on-device processing is done on cell phone, and for the manufacturing facility, we need a specific 3D camera, such as Intel RealSense.
Understood.
And Noah, did you want to last question?
Oh, no.
Okay.
I was just...
All right, very quickly.
Yeah, good presentation. Your ask isn't it a bit too modest, given your traction, your team's experience, the execution, the potential of the market? Maybe you need to hire some more people in marketing or something.
So we were originally based out of Seoul, South Korea, which is good economy for quick iterations, compact, small. We had connections to LG, Samsung, Hyundai, a lot of the enterprise businesses. It's good economy, compact, and that allows us to do a lot of iterations. But it's not it's quite isolated. And we want a scalable solution when it comes to distributions. So we have relocated our headquarters from Seoul to Delaware recently. I think there is a valid point when it comes to demonstrating our capabilities in new markets. So we want to take this as a mid-step. And once we succeed in demonstrating our capabilities, we will move on to our evaluation and also the strategic partnership when it comes to investments.
Thank you. And our next startup, Easy Interview. Steven?
You rocked it.
Perfect. So this is Steven, the founder of Easy Interview. Easy Interview is a job marketplace that remembers each candidate and each employer and automatically schedules interviews between them. So first, the market is very large. Indeed, is making 7 billion revenue every year. However, there's a huge problem. This is a very typical hiring funnel. Typically, there will, out of 100 resumes, the recruiter may only contact like 50 candidates, and eventually only 15 candidates may show up with a hiring manager interview. So there's an 85% waste on candidate efforts to apply for jobs, and also employer efforts to screen the resumes. Here's our solution. We built 2 agents, one candidate agent and one employer agent. The candidate agent will automatically apply for jobs, decline unwanted jobs, and provide interview tips. And the employer agent will screen the resumes, conduct phone screens, and schedule interviews, and make sure the candidates attend the interview. So you may ask, there have been so many agents the HRSS in the sector. So what's the difference? Here's a landscape for the recruiting marketplaces. And very interestingly, there are a lot of candidate assistants and employer assistants on the 2 sides. This is very strange because for other 2-sided marketplace, such as Uber, Airbnb, or Amazon, there are not so many 2-sided agents. So what's the reason? This is because all the job marketplaces, including LinkedIn and Indeed, they are selling clicks. But there is a large and long process from clicks to the final hires. So there emerged a lot of agents or SaaS to move the clicks to hires. I've been working in the recruiting industry for 4 years, and I tested the interview scheduling product myself with my previous company. Over there, I hired a Philippine operations team to manually schedule interviews for the clients. And the service became very popular, and this MRR quickly rose to 100K. And here at Easy Interview, we're using large language model to automate the process and scale it. And we released a product just a few weeks ago, and we got our first paid client this week. And here's me. I worked as general manager and COO at Hiree, a recruiting startup with like 13 million funding in total. And my co-founder and CTO, he has 7 years experience at Amazon and Salesforce. And we're looking for a 1.5 million pre-seed round. That's all.
Wow, thank you. Good job. All right. Do we have any questions, or is everything clear? Well, okay.
Yeah, well, first, just to understand better, you are building Boardy for recruiting, right? Do you know a startup called Boardy? Boardy man.
Sorry?
There's like a startup, they call you, they talk to you, then talk to a bunch of other people and connect 2 of you if you are fit.
Correct. So just imagine as Indeed and LinkedIn. So the difference is that for the employers, the AI will run everything and directly schedule interviews for the employers. And for the candidates, as long as you upload the resume, you may receive a phone call as long as there is a job potentially fits you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Well, everything is very, yes. Oh.
I see you're going to have revenue. No. So the first paid revenue, $500 MRR. It's now, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's just 6 months. And finally, maybe this will help us, someone here. So we see a huge demand from our Germany clients to hire China-based engineers. So if you are happening to want to hire some high quality and cost-efficient engineers in China, we have that. And or very good sales or customer support agents in Philippines. So please contact me. That's all.
You said that you had a previous startup. How much did it raise?
Oh, my previous company, I worked as their CEO and general manager. They raised 30 million.
Okay, good job. Great, and our next startup is Activa. I'm going to tell you when you have 30 seconds.
Hello.
I'm Nicola, CEO of Actival. We're a spin-off from CSCM, that's the largest R&D center in Switzerland. And we're now incorporating in the US with a mission to bring a new generation of active dental aligners to the market. Dental aligners have been born here in the Silicon Valley. They have created one of the biggest disruptions in the dental field as a replacement for metal braces, as a discrete and removable alternative. As such, the aligner market alone is $6.5 billion market, which is growing 30% year on year. But it does come with a problem. They're blocking access of saliva and oxygen, which is leading to bacterial buildup, plaque accumulation, and caries lesions. We have 4 patents on a technology how to directly print aligners with integrated microchannels. These microchannels are pre-filled with antibacterial solution, calcium fluoride, and flavor, which is slow release during the use phase of the aligner. So no need to refill it, and the liquid is of course transparent. It's colored here just for visual effects. So we have an active device, removing the bacterial buildup, creating even stronger enamel. All of that with the same price set, and we have more than 2,000 letters of interest from dental clinics about the technology. Looking at the competitors, so Align Technology, for example, is a unicorn, 28 billion valuation. There are others, Byte, for example, they achieved the unicorn status in less than 2 years after market entry. Bestman from Switzerland, 50 million in sales in their first year, but all of them have a Me Too product, which is a passive device. We have an active one. Business model, directly selling to the dental clinics. Go to market, as mentioned, we are moving to the US. US is more than half of the global market of the aligners. And if there is one slide to remember, it's this one, because we are pre-market, we're going to launch in 6 months. We've exhibited technology on 3 trade shows, and as you can see, we had a strong interest from the dentists and clinic owners. We received more than 2,000 letters of interest. If only 1/3 of them are converted, this is already 60 million in ARR that we can tap into from day one. The technology, more than 2 million has been invested in the development over the last 3 years. It's been developed with the world-leading dental clinics. So ZMK, for example, which is number 7 worldwide. Others you can see here. For the moment, we have partnered with 5 out of the 10 top global dental clinics. We're closing a seed round of 2 million. More than 1 million is already committed. We have strategic business angels. So, for example, ex-CEO of Straumann. Straumann is one of the largest dental companies in Europe, with 2 billion in annual revenue. We have an executive director for global top 10 clinic. We won Venture Kick in Switzerland in our cohort, where about 90% of all Swiss startups apply for Venture Kick. We got 1 million for that. Clinic owners and others. We have also 2 business angels from the East Coast, now looking to find ideally business angels on the West Coast. Smaller ticket sizes, so we have about 500,000 overall open, not more than that. We are a team of 8. Myself have a PhD in the topic. We are a team of 8, which is now growing to 12. And if you're interested, please feel free to reach out.
Wonderful, thank you. Good job. All right, do you have any questions? Yes.
Would you mind going a few slides before to show us the revenue?
Show us the revenue?
We're pre-market.
No.
We're pre-market pending FDA approval in 6 months.
Yes.
But what you can see here is more than 2,000 letters of interest from only 3 trade shows. And actually, we've asked for handwritten ones to show the commitment from them, signed, and so on.
So you will get FDA approval in 6 months?
Yes, so the product is here, it's in my pocket. The good thing about that is that the material is already approved, the liquid inside as well, so we're just combining 2 already approved, so it's a 510K, about 4 months of the process.
So how does your business model look like, and what are you actually proposing to the clinics?
So we're selling...
Do you have your own 3D printer, your own software for 3D printers?
Exactly. So we are using commercial software for treatment planning. We have our software in development. The printer is fine-tuned, so that's one of the patents. We have also the expertise how to print these aligners and the 4 patents on technology. Business model is direct B2B, so selling to the clinics, for distributors, and directly to them. So we have a 10x markup on a product.
And the 3D printers of your manufacturing?
So they're close to commercial, but tweaked with our expertise. So from CSCM is a world-leading expert in high-resolution 3D printing. I have the PhD in the topic, so they're finally tweaked, tuned.
CLA. You use CLA.
Yes. SLA.
SLA. Okay, and your material.
Yes.
Okay.
You're going to compete with the line, or you would work with them?
We worked with some of their competitors, and there were some initial contacts, so that might be one of the exit strategies as well.
Alexander, great. I'll come to you.
Where are you incorporated?
We are incorporated in Switzerland and now incorporating in the US. Looking to make a full move to the US.
In the US you have the branch?
Delaware, but looking for a full fleet.
Ah, okay.
Sure. Yeah.
All right. About your 510K, do you just file it, or it's been in the works for a while?
It's been filed.
Have you received the correspondence from the FDA yet?
Not yet.
Okay, good job.
Thank you.
Alright, and we're going to have our last startup, but everyone just, FYI, bear with me. After the startup presents, we're going to give judges a minute to finish voting. We're going to announce who the winner is, and then we're going to go downstairs. We're going to go downstairs and have food. So here's the thing. Usually we would go through the balcony. Currently the balcony has been painted, I suppose. And so we cannot go through there, so you will have to go through here and then walk around the parking lot because we need to end up here. Here's a barbecue area. Okay, and let me invite our last startup, so Real knows. Here we go. Try. I think you need to try. Oh, but you got the.
Hello everyone, I'm Nicolas Stefano, CEO of RealNose.ai.
Yes, Nico.
Yeah. So we're building an electronic nose using olfactory biosensors and AI and fully replicate the mammalian olfaction system. This is a platform that has numerous applications such as medical diagnostics, medical diagnostics, food safety, defense and security. Here are some global market sizes of applications that we can go after, but we have started working on cancer detection by sniffing urine, and specifically prostate cancer. And we have also started working with defense applications like chemical threat detection. Now, the problem with the prostate cancer starts with a PSA test, which is used for screening. It has many false positives that lead to many unnecessary biopsies. Our solution is a highly sensitive electronic nose that can sniff odorants at very low concentrations. We're talking about a few parts per trillion. And by sniffing urine, this way we're offering a non-invasive and very highly accurate detection method. This was inspired by dogs because it has been shown that they can detect several diseases with very high accuracy. Our technology is based on replicating the olfactory receptors that we have in our noses. And we do that by expressing proteins out of their genome sequence. Now, these proteins are extremely unstable, but we stabilize them by changing some of the amino acids in the sequence. And this is our mode and know-how that nobody else has. We then use machine learning to train that device. Now, initially, this was researched at MIT and funded by DARPA, GlaxoSmith, and Prostate Cancer Foundation. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I have founded 2 startups in the past, 1 exit. My co-founder, Dr. Andreas Mersin, has led 19 years at MIT, replicating olfactory systems. Now, our go-to-market is to sell this to diagnostic labs through a subscription fee, a monthly subscription fee of $1,500, and a commission of $50 per test. Now, so far, we have raised $1.6 million in our pre-seed round. We have been granted from NATO $400,000 mainly to develop a prototype for sarin gas detection. We have also won a grant from DoD to go after chemical and biothreats. Now, we have filed 6 provisional patents, 3 of those have been converted to 1 utility, and we have now 2 working prototypes, and we can achieve 75% of accuracy with a small data set that we already have. Now, most importantly, we have several letters of intents, but the most notable one is from Cleveland Clinic, where they want to do clinical studies for prostate, bladder, and breast cancer with us. We're seeking now to raise $8 million to start our clinical studies. Thank you.
Wonderful. All right. Do we have any questions? Yes.
Are you playing in the CDS space, or what's the strategy? Are you a clinical support system?
We plan to go for an FDA and CE submission in Europe and FDA in the US, a de novo application for medical devices.
So you can be a diagnostic tool or prognostic?
It's a medical device.
The device itself.
IVD, in vitro diagnostics. But we have access to revenue through the CLIA certified labs as well. So we're exploring also the conscious medicine market that we can penetrate without being regulated by FDA.
Hello. You got last mover advantage probably in this pitch. If you go to some of the previous slides with how much you charge. Yes. Do you charge per sniff or per what?
Per test, but in every test we need a few minutes. We do a few sniffs. Let's put it this way, and yeah, and we need a subscription per month because this is a biopsy that needs to be replaced every few months. So this covers all the maintenance.
Great. And how many of those devices are needed per diagnostic center on average? Like if you are selling to Cleveland, like if you go back to your biggest win, right? Cleveland Clinic. Imagine that all the prostate, bladder, and breast cancer, you accomplished it all. How many of those they would buy to cover their current client base?
We need to consider it per test. So per test we would need, let's say, a few minutes, 3, 4, 5 minutes per test, that's it. So the number of units should be enough to cover the full demand. But the urine itself can also be frozen and then sent to the lab or be tested at some other time.
Thank you.
No. Yes.
So I believe this technology or like this space, people have been like, for lack of, I guess pun on purpose, like have been sniffing around in this space for a while, and like some of the large CPG brands have invested like quite a bit of money in like, pushing it forward and such. What is it that you guys are doing differently that you really think it's gonna, catch fire and gain a lot of traction?
Most of the companies in this area are using sensors that are not mimicking the olfaction system that we have. So we're different in this way, that we're replicating exactly what our sensors are in our noses send to our brains. And then we use machine learning, obviously, to replicate the brain function. But we're the only ones that replicate fully how the olfaction works. And something to understand is that we're not looking for molecules or biomarkers or anything. We're just creating a signature sense, and then we try to find patterns from those.
Nice. So I was going to ask the same, but what is the asking? I'm a bit confused. Of the safe, PC, the seed.
So we raised already 1.6 million on safe notes, pre-seed round, but now we're looking at a seed round to go after clinical studies. So it's different now. We don't have any yet investor. We just started opening this round.
How much are you looking for in that case?
Sorry?
The seed. How much are you looking for?
8 million.
Okay, and so?
I see you're part of Diana program. Do you have any non-dilutive grants coming up?
Yes, we got from NATO. From NATO Diana, it was 100,000 euros just for their participation. But now they have another thing called TEVV, which is for testing, and they are funding us 300,000 to develop a prototype for sarin gas. Because they showed a lot of interest in the technology, and they wanted us to go after chemicals.
Trying to understand the markets, different markets, and your client base, I want to ask you if you can detect how clear and pure is cocaine.
Yes, narcotics also is something that can be detected. And actually, I haven't mentioned that in the presentation. During the MIT development, it was funded by DARPA. The first prototype back then was tested in a DARPA study, getting several odorants related to narcotics, explosives, dead bodies, things like that. And that machine, and it was tested against trained dogs. And they said at the end that this machine was able to have, it was having 200 times better limit of detection against the trained dogs because they were reducing the concentration of these substances till the dog couldn't detect it anymore, but that machine was able to detect it. But keep in mind that that was in a clean environment, so it was easier to detect, but still much better than the dog.
Cool. Okay, thank you. All right, let's give judges a minute to finish voting. And then we're going to project our website, show the winner, and then we're going to go downstairs around the parking lot and end up here. So there's a full circle. All right, let's wait for judges to finish the voting. Alex, give it a second, okay? I'll tell you. Okay. Finishing up? Okay, are we done? No, not done.
Real knows AI. Sharp knows AI. The winner is Sharp knows.
I see that it's a difficult choice to make, huh? Are we done? Is everyone done? All good? Are you guys done? It's all good? Yeah. Wait, let's press close. Right, so here's the story. We actually have multiple categories of judges. First is business angels, second is expert board, and then third is overall winner. So we're going to have to wait for the overall winner. The higher the score, the higher the place. So let's see what business angels do. All right, so according to them, it's third place, Real Knows AI, second is CQR, and first is Actimal. That's the expert board. Okay. CQR, Actimal, and Real Knows AI, and let's see overall score. It's going to take a couple of seconds. It always does. Yeah, it's calculated. All right. Third place is CQR. Second is Real Knows. First is Actival. Congratulations. Thank you everyone for being here. Yeah, you can click congrats. It's a new thing. All right, thank you everyone for being here. No, you can leave. So if you want to see this event, unicorn.events, you go to past events and you will see information about startups, judges, everything. Thank you everyone. That's the end of the official part. And let's go to our little circle to actually go eat, okay?
Будущие миллиардеры здесь, если они уже не... Все, валим.